What's up?
Welcome to Millennial Meltdown, a production of the Communication Studies Department of the University of Northern Iowa.
We're here to distract you from having your own Millennial Meltdown with a variety of segments ranging from food to technology and everything in between.
We've got 3 half-hour shows plus 1 special episode about the Iowa music scene.
So without delay, enjoy.
TC is Teachers College, and TK is, I have no idea. I should probably know that.
The what?
Well, I think it's the cat and the kitten, but TC used to be Teachers College.
I have no idea.
This cat and that cat.
I don't know actually. It's like the cat and the kit.
I have no idea.
I honestly have no idea.
I have no idea.
Oh, the cat and the kitty?
The cat and the kitten.
The cat and the kitten.
Main Street. College Street. College Street.
College Street.
College Street.
College Street. Walnut. I have no idea, actually.
College.
College Street.
College Street.
College Street.
College.
College Street.
College Street.
College Street. It's not Hudson, is it?
Women's gym.
Oh man.
The women's gym.
No, the ITC building.
East Gym, like a swimming pool.
That's where you guys have your classes?
Oh, like the pool and the gym.
Swimming pool.
Oh, the pool, right?
First floor, main floor.
The second floor.
First floor or
The first. Second floor. The bottom, right? First.
Ground. The first one?
This first floor ground level, but it's kind of interesting because it's numbered with 2 instead of 1, so it's kind of confusing.
HT.
I don't want to do that. Not on the spot.
RE.
HT.
Oh my goodness.
AP. I don't know.
RE.
T. Oh no. REHT.
NTHA.
I can't think like that. I can't get it.
Looking in the future, what I see so blue, and I just wanna hold on to my point of view. You thought you'd feel better if you were on your own. Thought it'd make you feel beautiful. I really tried, Lord, I tried the best best that I can. Oh, Lord, I've been living in the past. I spent some time looking out my window. All good feelings, they don't last. They fall away when the wind blows. Yeah. You thought you'd feel better if you were on your own. Thought it'd make you feel beautiful. I really tried, Lord. I tried the best that I can.
My name's Evan Stock, and this is Amelia Gotera. We're both here in Cedar Falls. We're kind of a collaboration sort of thing of a group together for you as we stand, but we're both involved in some things on our own locally and, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah, he works with, he's the bassist for Dishwater Blonde and the front man for the Evan Stock Band.
Yeah.
And then my sister Melina and I are a folk Americana duo.
I got into music at a pretty young age. I started taking guitar lessons when I was 6 and did that for many years. Took a couple years of bass lessons when I was 10, then started playing drums when I was 14 and started my own band and singing and producing and doing it. So I've kind of just like been submersing myself in the music, you know, industry for a while now, and I perform with the Brazilian Twins as well. So I've been like on tour with them, going to some really cool places and stuff like that. So I think it's really starting to become quite a lot of fun. But yeah, it's music is something I got into at a pretty young age myself.
I've always sang, and I started writing songs probably like really angsty teen songs when I was in junior high, and like 14 or 15, and my parents are both really creative artists and musicians and poets, so that was always in my house. And so I started playing like professionally the last 2 years.
So the first piece we did is a song that I wrote last year. Actually, no, I think I wrote it in 2014 called So Blue. And I wrote it. It was just a song. I mean, I perform in a rock band, but I just performed that one by myself acoustically all the time. So it's kind of cool to have Amelia come by, and then we kind of put it together as a duo thing, and she sings some really great harmonies for it, and it's just a really pretty tune, I'd say. Really brought it to life. It's fun.
Yeah, I like singing that one. Yeah, he would play it all the time, and then when I would jump in and sing, we just decided to do that one today because it's so fun to play.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I've been looking in the future. Oh, what I see so blue. And now I just wanna hold on to my point of view. Yeah. Hey, you thought you'd feel better if you were on your own. Thought it'd make you feel beautiful. I really tried, Lord. I tried the best that I can.
Hi, I'm Carly, and welcome to Late Night Bites. On tonight's episode, we have a very special bite-sized tribute to our friends in Italy, who have given us the greatest gift of all, the pizza pie. If I know Italy, it's all about using the most organic ingredients that you can find. Here's what you'll need. pizza crust, marinara sauce, pepperoni, cheese. All necessary ingredients to make your pizza pinwheels. Buongiorno. The oven behind me is set to preheat at 400 degrees, and while that's heating up, so are we. It's time to take our pizza crust and line our baking sheet and then cover it with some sauce. Let's get these pizza pinwheels popping. Now that we're all sauced up, it's time to add the pepperoni and the cheese. After about 15 minutes in the oven and 10 minutes of cooling, your pizza pinwheels are ready to be cut and tasted. Cheese and crust. There's the flavor. And there you have it, folks. A bite-sized dish that's inspired by authentic Italian cuisine. That's all the time for this episode. Ciao, and thanks for tuning in to Late Night Bites.
Wow, Carly, that's some recipe. How'd you learn to cook like that?
Well, Olivia, I guess that'll just have to be my little secret. Really, Carly? Really?
Okay then, I guess.
Just a reminder that you too could have your own Millennial Meltdown by checking out the Digital Media Department, possibly one of the best majors on campus, with a wide variety of professors who are there to help you out.
We are controlling transmission.
Every time a superhero movie comes out, I have to prepare myself for the storm of Facebook posts that I am bound to see. Parents with young kids who, for whatever reason, think it's a good idea to bring their 8-year-old to a PG-13 movie, or even, in some cases, an R-rated movie. Why? When Agent Coulson got stabbed in the first Avengers movie, my first thought was, oh, wow, what a classic family moment. We're gonna watch this every Christmas just to feel great. That's sarcasm, by the way.
This was never gonna work.
The Deadpool movie came out recently. Now, for those of you who don't know, Deadpool is a rated R superhero. Like, he was created to be crude, rude, violent, out of control. He swears, he's extremely sexual. That's his nature. Anyone who knows this knows that it's not a good idea to bring a kid to this movie. Hell, anyone who knows how to read would look at the rating and be like, oh, this movie was made for adults. I probably shouldn't bring my kid to see this movie. But I guess some people don't use their brains and just assume that any superhero movie is appropriate for kids. You know, I would have loved to see their reactions during the scene in Deadpool. Okay, Timmy, here's your soda and your popcorn. Now we just have to wait for that funny love scene. Oh God, Timmy, cover your eyes. Oh God, why? What kind of kids movie is this? Oh, the humanity! I'm sorry. When did an R rating mean that it's a kids movie? Did I miss that memo? Now I get it, okay? Sometimes the rating doesn't accurately reflect the content of the movie. But there are websites that will tell you why a movie is rated that way. Check them out. Don't just assume that because it's a superhero movie, it's gonna be okay for the children. There might be like 1 or 2 movies that I would bring my 10-year-old to. Not that I have one. But most of them, I don't think so.
Please stand by.
And lastly, the number one thing...
Can I just cut you off for a second? Let's just be real. Let's be real. I just want to talk about the e-media department really quick. I think it's kind of
This was an amazing year for UNI athletics. Basketball knocking off North Carolina at home, hitting a buzzer beater to win the Missouri Valley Conference tournament and send them to the NCAA tournament. Then right after, winning the first round game on a half-court buzzer beater. Holy cow, schools don't do that.
On this episode of Panther Support, we talked to UNI students Ian Schillinek and Austin Hansen about their thoughts on the game day experience and the future of university athletics.
The game day experience at UNI is something that is really, really unique and special to me. It's one of those deals where in the fall, on a Saturday morning, you wake up and I know my entire day is going to revolve around it. And from the moment you wake up till when you get to the tailgating area, seeing all of your friends, seeing all of your fellow students, walking to the dome, walking to the front of that student section and cheering on your team. It's just a feeling that you're part of something bigger. You're part of the student body, you're part of the university, and it's really cool. So I've grown up in Cedar Falls. My parents went to UNI and my mom now works at the university. So the Panthers have always just been a really big part of my life. I've actually never missed a UNI home football game since I've been born. And so it's just one of those things where I really didn't have a choice to become a Panther fan. So that's all right, I love it. And it's been really fun to kind of see the game day atmosphere change, even from like when I was in elementary school, junior high, high school, and now part of the game day experience as a student at UNI.
No, actually I grew up an Iowa Hawkeye fan. You know, being from the southern part of the state, you don't hear about UNI much. So, you know, Hawkeye fan. I know personally, you know, I root for all three unless they're playing each other. Like if UNI is playing Iowa or Iowa State, I always root for UNI because that's my school. You know, I may have grown up an Iowa fan, but I'm a Panther at heart.
While the student turnout may be good for marquee matchups against in-state rivals and well-known opponents, the South bleachers struggle to attract an audience during average Valley play. We asked Ian whether he thought this was a reflection of our program or the fan base of the opposing teams.
I think it's more of a reflection of what the other teams like. Because, I mean, sure, we can probably get a big crowd for a normal game, but for like the big game, like Wichita or North Carolina, or if they played Iowa or Iowa State here, I bet it'd be a sellout just because of who they're playing. But yeah, like if you look at like women's, they played big games like that this year. They played Iowa, Iowa State, Drake. Most of the crowd was like, for Iowa State, it was mostly cardinal and gold. For Iowa, it was mostly black and gold. Drake, they had 2 busloads of blue, and that almost outnumbered our purple and gold. You know, so I think it almost matters more who we're playing than who we are.
During our talk with Austin, we asked him if he thought UNI was on the same level athletically as the other schools in Iowa.
Yeah, and that's a really interesting question, and I feel like I've been answering that question ever since I became a UNI fan, because it's always the question. If you live in Iowa, everybody says Iowa or Iowa State, and I'm always like, where is UNI in that argument? I absolutely believe that UNI is on the same level, if not better. If you look at the records throughout the last decade, UNI has a lot of winning records against the Cyclones and the Hawks, which is amazing. But at the same time, because we are a smaller school, a smaller program, and we have a smaller football program, they sometimes tend to think of us as the little brother. And I think that's a cultural thing again. I think if UNI fans start not thinking as UNI as the little brother to Iowa State, that's when we're finally going to earn some respect.
At the end of our conversation with Ian and Austin, they shared their suggestions for improving the fan experience and motivating more students to attend UNI games.
I have no clue because, we already get tickets for free. It's built into our student fees, so we don't have to pay anything at the door. Maybe, incentives for people that go. Like this year for the women's basketball game, they were giving out tickets to the Big Four tournament for the men's, and it was the Iowa State game. And they were just like, oh, you have to come to the game to get the ticket. So they had a bunch of people in line. They got their tickets, they bolted. I would have maybe made it to where, they'd hand those tickets out after the game. So you have to come to the game, stay the whole entire game, then get your ticket. Some way to keep people at these, get people at these games and keep them there.
So incentives such as free chicken wings at a game, or I know they had the 7 a.m. basketball game last year, and the players brought out donuts for the student section. Those little things are always good. They might not seem like a big deal in the long run, but especially for students, that is a big deal. That made their day, that made their morning. It's something that they're looking forward to get them in the door. So consistent promotions are always great, but they have to be good promotions. They have to be cool in the eyes of college students or alumni or whoever's attending the game. Enough for you to get up and for that small incentive say, yes, I am going to drive to the McLeod Center today and walk in the doors.
Hello and welcome to Smoking Guns. This is our second episode. I want to talk about the 5 most infuriating Best Picture winners, parentheses, in recent history. So everybody knows that the Academy Awards aren't exactly fair, and that the best actors, actresses, and films don't always get the awards that they deserve. But there have been a few times over the years that the Academy has just blatantly and unapologetically chosen the wrong movie for Best Picture. Obviously, there have been many egregious snubs over the Oscars' almost 100-year history, so in order to make my list a more manageable number, I decided to look at the awards handed out just in the last decade or so. Here are, in my opinion, the 5 most ridiculous Best Picture winners that I cared enough to write about. Let's start off with number 5. I chose Argo from 2012. The other nominees that year were More, Beasts of the Southern Wild, Django Unchained, Les Mis, Life of Pi, Lincoln, Silver Linings Playbook, and Zero Dark 30. Now let's not pretend that anyone was surprised that Argo won Best Picture that year. Everybody and their brother saw this coming from a mile away. Argo is literally a movie about Hollywood saving hostages and an entire country from conflict. There is no way that the Academy was going to let this one go without a statue. I'm not saying Argo was a bad movie. However, it is in no way the best movie from that year. Beasts of the Southern Wild, Lincoln, and Zero Dark 30 are all far superior films in both acting and storytelling. Now, who should have won that year? That would be Lincoln. This was the best film of 2012. No contest. The Academy may as well have snubbed the actual Abraham Lincoln. Number 4, Chicago from 2002. Other nominees that year, Gangs of New York, The Hours, Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, and The Pianist. I don't really have an explanation for why this won Best Picture. Heavy campaigning from Harvey Weinstein is the only thing I can think of. It's a fine film, but for me personally, it's not even my favorite modern musical, let alone the best film that year. For context, Moulin Rouge came out the year before and is superior to Chicago in pretty much every way. What should have won that year? For this one, literally anything else. Martin Scorsese and Roman Polanski directed films were present in the category. along with arguably the best installment of the Lord of the Rings trilogy. This is argued by me. With the hours rounding out the nominations, I can't imagine why Chicago was picked out of this mix. Number 3, Crash from 2004. Other nominees, Brokeback Mountain, Capote, Good Night and Good Luck, and Munich. The Best Picture field in 2004 was filled with inspiring, challenging films that asked tough questions and addressed serious issues with style and grace. And also Crash. I know, Crash also took on some serious issues. It's just missing the good movie element that all the other films seem to have. Now, what should have won that year? Brokeback Mountain, Good Night and Good Luck, either one, doesn't matter. 2005 might seem like a very long time ago, but as far as progressive politics go, it may have been 1953. The Academy giving Brokeback Mountain the Best Picture statue would have sent a powerful message about its stance on gay rights and LGBTQ representation. Also, it's just an amazing film. I also would have thought that Good Night and Good Luck would have had no trouble nabbing the top spot with its hardcore nostalgia and Clooney connection. I'm going to choose to believe that these two films split the Academy vote and that the next runner-up was Crash for some reason, which still makes no sense, but it's better than believing that thousands of Academy voters actually believed that Crash was the best movie of 2004. Number 2, Titanic, 1997. I know this is gonna hurt some people. Other nominees that year, As Good as It Gets, The Full Monty, Good Will Hunting, LA Confidential. Anybody who knows me knows my hatred for this movie. It's filled with melodrama and poor storytelling. I don't care how innovative and groundbreaking the technology involved was. The technology doesn't make a good movie. If it did, Tron would have swept the Oscars in 1982. Now, who should have won in that fateful year of Titanic? The answer is obviously Good Will Hunting. A beautiful script, outstanding performances, and wonderful directing all come together to create a truly remarkable and moving film. And it lost to a movie with a schmaltzy Celine Dion power ballad that we still can't recover from. And the number 1 most ridiculous Best Picture winner, Shakespeare in Love, 1998. Other nominations that year, Elizabeth, Life is Beautiful, Saving Private Ryan, and The Thin Red Line. I don't care if Gwyneth Paltrow is some darling of Hollywood, it's still not a good movie. What should have won that year? I'm just gonna go with Saving Private Ryan. Because are you f***ing kidding me? So those are, in my humble opinion, the 5 most ridiculous Best Picture winners in my recent memory. I know that you probably disagree with me on some of these, but this is my show. So too bad. This has been Smoking Guns. I'm Olivia Guns. Tune in next time where I will probably make you angry again. Cut. Thanks for procrastinating with us today.
Why do today what you could put off until tomorrow?
We have a lot more Millennial Meltdowns for you, so be sure to check out our next episode.
Like, okay, I'm back. Hey, thanks for sticking around. I know the show may be over, but it must go on. You should really benefit your future by checking out the digital media department. And I'm serious on this. Check it out. It's changed my life. I wouldn't be sitting where I am today without it. Just a shameless plug, but I really hope you enjoyed our program today. See ya. I just talked.